Matt Riches. Watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickets, turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickets, watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickets, turning data to gold. $1 trillion tickets, watch the market unfold. $1 trillion tickets. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from around the globe. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Welcome to the $1 Trillion Tickers broadcast. I'm your host, Matt Riches. It is Tuesday, July 28, 2026. Happy Tuesday. This is the pre-market briefing. So let me let you know what's going on. Micron, MU, is getting destroyed this morning here in the pre-market and the overnight. The stock has fallen to approximately $839 in the pre-market, knocking it back out of the $1 Trillion ticker lineup. This decline comes during a wider sell-off in memory stocks with concerns around elevated AI valuations, infrastructure financing, and growing competition from China's weighing on the semiconductor industry. Corning is another major pre-market story. Despite beating earnings and revenue expectations, the stock is down 17.2% from yesterday's close. That is another reminder that the market's reaction matters more than the headline numbers. We do have some data coming out at 7 a.m. We'll get to that. This show is for education and entertainment purposes only. Always do your own research, but you can use this show as a foundation. Before we get into the charts, let's get into the mindset with our mantra. I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to be happy. I deserve the wealth that I'm building for me and my family. Riches and freedom, they come to our hands. I am the master of all I command. My learning is limitless. My earnings are too. The more I discover, the more I can do. The stock market is a machine of design, and I have the power to make that wealth mine. I am capable. I am skilled. I am bold. Blessings on the journey as the vision unfolds. All right, now let's check out some data. So at 7 a.m., we have CB Consumer Confidence. It's an orange folder. So that means, it's not a red folder, but it is an orange folder. So there might be some slight volatility. It's forecasted at 92.4. The Fear and Greed Index is at 41. So we still are in fear. The rest of the data are just yellow folders. So we're going to skip over those. All right. We did have some earnings today. Before we get into the earnings, the VIX is at 18.77. The 10-year Treasury yield note is at 4.63%. Gold is trading around $4,033 an ounce. Bitcoin is around $63,000. Ethereum is around $1,887. Now let's check out the earnings. PayPal beat earnings by 7.9% and revenue by 2.4%. The stock is currently up around 1.4% from yesterday's close. Boeing missed earnings by 170%, but beat revenue by 1.2%. Despite that, it hasn't been much comparison between yesterday's close and the current pre-market price. Coca-Cola beat earnings by 4%, beat revenue by 1.5%. The stock is up about 4% from yesterday's close. Corning beat expectations by 3.2% and revenue by 2.3%. However, the stock is down 17%. So once again, a company can beat expectations and still sell off when guidance expectations or positioning disappoints the market. UPS beat earnings by 5.7% and revenue by 4.3%. The stock initially spiked up, but it has pulled back and is now up less than 1%. After the bell today, we have Bloom Energy, Seagate, Enphase Energy, KLAC, and Visa. All right, let's get into Robert Greene's Daily Law before we get on the charts. Title: Communicate to People's Senses. Daily Law: Pay more attention to the form of your message than to the content. Images are more seductive than words, and visuals should actually be your real message. Here's the breakdown. Free yourself from the need to communicate only in a normal, direct manner, and you will create more opportunities for a soft sell. Make your words unobtrusive, vague, and alluring. Pay greater attention to your style, your visuals, and the story they communicate. Convey a sense of movement and progress by showing yourself in motion. Express confidence through colors and positive imagery instead of relying exclusively on facts and figures. If you allow the media to cover you without guidance, you are at its mercy. The media needs drama and visuals, so provide them. It is fine to discuss serious issues or truth as long as you package the message in an entertaining and engaging way. Images linger in the mind long and after words are forgotten. Do not preach to the public. Learn to express your message through visuals and create positive emotions and remain in the audience's memory. Okay. The lesson is that presentation shapes perception. People may believe they are responding to facts, but color, imagery, movement, emotion, and presentation often influence them first. When it comes to long-term investing, this law is also a warning. Companies use polished presentations, dramatic product demonstrations, and carefully constructed narratives to stimulate investor excitement. Those visuals can attract attention, but they do not replace fundamentals. Look beyond the presentation and examine revenue growth, margins, free cash flow, debt, competitive advantages, and valuation. A compelling story can move a stock temporarily, but the underlying business must eventually support the valuation. For day traders, price action is itself a visual language. Candles, volume, gaps, support and resistance, market structure can communicate what buyers and sellers are doing faster than a headline can. However, do not allow a dramatic story or an impressive chart pattern to override confirmation. Wait for price action to support the setup. Define your invalidation level and manage the risk before entering the trade. Stay patient, stay disciplined. Execution over emotion, process over prediction. Now let's get on these charts, y'all. Let's start with NVIDIA, currently in the pre-market at 196.05. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 193.19, 192.35, 189.80, 185.75. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, 196.50, 198.55, 200, 202.30. Next, we got Apple, currently in the pre-market at 339.35. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 337.12, 335, 334.70, 334, 331.85, 326.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 339.77. Then I got a couple levels here in price discovery line. 340.30, 344.55, and 353.50. Next, we got Google currently in the pre-market at 327.25. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 324.83, 324.45, which is yesterday's low, 321.50, 317.70. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 328.60, 330.40, and then we get into the gap. So the midway point of the gap is 336.07, and the top of the gap is 341.76. I definitely don't expect this gap to get filled in one day. Next, we got Microsoft currently in the pre-market at 395. To the downside support, we got 394.20, which is yesterday's high. The pre-market low, 391.29, followed by 388. 386, 380.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 396.30, followed by 399.65, 403.15, and 406. Next, we got Amazon currently in the pre-market at 232.85. To the downside support, we got the yesterday's low and the pre-market low, which is 231. Underneath that, we got 227.85, 225.55. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 234.23, followed by 235.90, and then we got the bottom of this gap here at 237.35. 238.35. The midway point of the gap is 240.40, and the top of the gap is 242.48. Next, we got TSM currently in the pre-market at 385.45. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 381. Underneath that, we got 380.65, 375.80. Then we got the top of our smart money concept support zone at 370.22. The midway point of that zone is 365.36, and the bottom of that zone is 360.58. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 390.83, and then we got $400.10, and then 407.40, and then 412. Next, we got AVGO currently in the pre-market at 376.35. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low 372.29, 369.90, 364.80, 357.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 378.74, followed by 384.65, 387.45, 390.15. Next, we got SpaceX currently in the pre-market at 109.47. Can you believe SpaceX is at 109.47 in the pre-market? Yes, you can, because yesterday's low was 108.65. Okay, pre-market low 108.80. Yesterday's low 108.65. And I got a level here in price discovery land at 105, and then $96.50. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 111.50, 114.85, and 118.55. Next, we got Meta currently in the pre-market at 598.96. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low of 594.84, 583.15, 590.15, 584.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of $600.49, followed by 601.75, 607, 611, 26, and 614.65. Next, we got Tesla currently in the pre-market at 307.15. Tesla broke the low of 2026 yesterday and Friday, and let's see if we break it today as well, y'all. The low of the year is 304.28. The pre-market low is 303.57. Underneath that, we got 297.85 and 288.80. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high of 308, followed by 310.45 and 317. Next, we got Berkshire B currently in the pre-market at $500.20. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low 498.05, followed by 497.30, 496.35, and 493.97. To the upside resistance, we got 501 and 503. Next, we got Eli Lilly currently in the pre-market at 1,212. To the downside support, we got 1,200 even, 1,194, 1,183. To the upside, we got the pre-market high of 1,215, followed by 1,230, 1,242. Next, we got SPY currently in the pre-market at $740.30. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low, $736.83, followed by $735.90, $735.20, $732.10. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at $741. We got the bottom of this gap at $742.58. The midway point of the gap is $744.50. I got a level inside here, which is yesterday's high at $745.55. The top of the gap is $746.37. Next, we got QQQ currently in the pre-market at $678.11. To the downside support, we got yesterday's low of $675.95. We got the pre-market low of $673.97. Then 668.90. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high, the 678.69, followed by 680.45, 682.50, and 683.60. Next, we got IWM currently in the pre-market at 293.29. To the downside support, we got the pre-market low at 292.11, 291.45, 291.10, and 290.15. To the upside resistance, we got the pre-market high at 293.60, followed by 295 and 295.50, and then 296.75. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. You know how we like to end the episode.
Chase excellence, never chase money. Why? Because money has an incredible way of finding excellence. Did you chase excellence and not money? Do you have the intellectual curiosity to learn everything you can about this incredible industry and master it? Become the smartest person in the room. Have you mastered it?
Thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to everybody on YouTube Live. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom. Peace, blessings, financial freedom.